Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Verena and today's topic is start where you're at now. I want to talk with you about that because this is what I see in my clients the most often is that they have actually all it takes. They have so much knowledge, so many trainings, so many seminars, workshops, certificates, but they do not start. They are too much in their head about how to make it perfect, what else is missing, and postponing the most important thing when you are wanting to manifest anything is take action. And I know it from my own journey for many years. I was accumulating more and more knowledge, which was great. I know a lot now, but I was focused more on gaining knowledge, learning more, instead of teaching what I already knew. And moreover, even teaching it the moment I was finishing the course. But many times I thought, I need to gain experience first. But how do you gain experience? By doing it, by sharing what you've learned and not being scared. Not being scared of making mistakes, because it's normal. Whenever you are trying something new, you are most probably making a mistake. This is how it is to be human. Just imagine a little baby when it starts walking for the first time. It will fall hundreds, maybe thousands of times, but it's getting up again. And this is the difference between the people who are never going to make it or the ones who are going to make it because they're willing to fall, but they are even more willing to get up and go onto the horse again, because they know it's part of the journey. And it actually is a great thing to fail, because you gain so much experience, wisdom and knowledge in case you want to do something like me, for your clients. Every experience, every failure I experienced, I can help my clients now. And it's amazing because I know exactly where they're at, and not only from studying it, I know it because I have embodied it, I've experienced it. I don't say you need to experience 1,000 failures, but it could be. I love the example of Thomas Edison when he invented the light bulb. It said that he failed around 10,000 times only to then be successful and brought light into our house. But he was willing because he had that desire. He knew he can make it, and that's what you need. So what you need is a burning desire, for a goal, for a vision, for a dream. And that's the first thing. That will carry you the extra mile. If you are only setting out to, let's say you want a new car and you're like, this is my goal. I want to have a new, Audi. But it's nice to have one, but you're not burning for it. It's not like, oh my God, this is my dream. I've always dreamed about driving an Audi through town, whatever. If it's just like, it would be nice, you will not go the extra mile. You will not do what it takes to make it work. And that's the thing. So first you need this burning desire. And for many who are watching here, because otherwise you wouldn't find my channel, you wouldn't be attracted to what I share, you have something inside of yourself, a burning desire, a purpose where you feel this is what you're here for. And this is what you want to bring out into the world. And I'm thinking about one friend of mine. She's so gifted, so skilled, but she's so scared of stepping out, so scared of sharing, too shy. She identifies as shy. And that's why since many years, she's not working in her purpose, because she's not allowing herself to. She's so in her head about what could go wrong, what will people say. I have another friend who is, that was the vacuum cleaner, excuse me. another friend who's really, really gifted, has so much experience already, but now went back into doing something which basically brings her further away from her purpose. Yeah, and this is how life works. So sometimes things can propel us seemingly backwards to maybe then needing this experience to be like, oh my God, actually, what am I doing? I know what I want to do, and then move forward even further or quicker. But for the most of us, it's the first initiate step to do what you came here to do. And I want to explain a little bit about my journey. So before I left Germany, I was working in corporates and office work in human resources, and it was a job. I did it, I went there every day, but it was never ever exciting me. But a couple of years prior to me quitting, I met a lady, and she was super into all of like spirituality, metaphysics, energy healing, and all of that stuff. So I felt like when she sort of introduced me to some of this stuff, I was like really, really getting excited about it. I was learning, I was studying in my free time, reading books. And when I then quit my job, I had no clue what's going to happen next. I had my first or second degree in Reiki, but I wasn't sort of working with it. I was clueless, to be really, really honest. But I knew that there's something that's strong and something that wants me to be free to explore why I'm here. So I quit my job, I flew to Portugal, I walked the Camino to Santiago de Compostela, something I can really recommend you. It was a beautiful journey. And when I was finished, I went down to Sintra, or close to Sintra. There was a yoga retreat, or a place which facilitated yoga retreats. Back at that day, I didn't even know what a retreat was. It was so funny. So I took part in that yoga retreat, and this yoga teacher deeply inspired me. How she sat on that mat, how she explained us the universe, how her body was so flexible, how she seemed so happy and so in tune with everything. I was just like, wow, this is incredible. This woman is really special. And every class, I was so looking forward, and just being in her energy and being inspired by what she was sharing. And I remember one afternoon, so this was February, so it was mostly clouded or raining and really, really cold. And the rooms were refurbished or renovated horse boxes. So we had really small windows, so the room was really dark-ish. I was laying on my bed, staring up the ceiling, and I was like, what if I become a yoga teacher? And I kid you not, in that moment, it was like God separating the clouds and the room was flooded by light. I was like, whoa! I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I was like, okay, this is a sign, this is not just random. The moment I think about it, my whole room gets flooded by sunlight, I was like, it's like somebody had switched a light bulb on above me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to research. So I went into we had a community hall or room. That's where we had internet, and I typed in randomly yoga, become a yoga teacher training. The first thing which came up, yoga teacher training in Mondsee, Austria. I was like, that sounds nice. I love Austria. Mondsee sounds really nice. And I clicked onto it. I saw where Mondsee was. It was surrounded, it was a lake surrounded by mountains, incredibly beautiful. And on top of that, the teacher who was facilitating the training was from Australia. And if you know me, I've been living in Australia. I was living in Australia for a year when I was 19, and that changed me forever. So when I discovered she was from Australia, I was like, oh my God, this is where I need to be. I'll book that training. I don't know the teacher. I don't know the style. I'm just gonna do that. And I did. I did go to this training, and the training was the door opener to many miraculous things in my life. One of them meeting my friend Amrita, who then I visited in Sri Lanka, and her wedding was or is the reason why I'm living in Bali. So, take the first step. You need to take the first step, even if it's so daunting, even if you're so scared, because you have no clue on how it's unfolding. And even if people think you're lost your mind, which they thought about me many times when I was a diplomat at one point, and I quit. I was working for a big corporation with great or considered to be great income, and I quit. And people every time were like, how can you do that? You're crazy. You don't know what else to do yet. But I followed my heart, and I can only tell you, this is the reason why you're here, to follow your heart. And then the universe steps, and you need to take the first step always. And then the universe will come. The universe, God, source, creator, whatever you want to call it. And the universe will, give you that swift, when you want to fly, but you need that drift to carry you upwards. I know you're not a bird, but just imagine that you're wanting to fly, and then the universe, you're jumping, you take the leap, and then the universe is sending the breeze to carry you upwards. And that's how it works. You will find the most incredible synchronicities, people, signs, whatever, situations which you couldn't have ever imagined. But you need to take the first step. You cannot ever listen to this, because I tell you something, I've stopped so many times because of people might think I'm crazy. Number one, because I'm doing something so out of the ordinary to, I don't know at home many people who do the same. Maybe now more people, maybe at that time already more people did it, but I was so much kept in my mind that it's so different from what I perceived as people could perceive as normal. So that was one of the biggest fears. Fear of failure. What if I'm gonna fail and then I have to move back home, and then people will say think, I told you, you should have stick to your job. What else? That fear of making it, that's also something many people fear subconsciously, because what if you really are gonna make it? That our innate mechanisms are that we want to belong to a group. This is part of being human, but part wanting to be part of our family. But what if you are the one who really creates a difference? You're the one to create a big income, big wealth, a fortune. It will be so different to your parents or to your whatever aunts, uncles, and then they maybe look like they push you out. They don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. So there can be so many fears tied to that, especially when we decide to step out into the public eye and not just doing something behind a computer. I'm sharing with you open and honestly my story. That's something. I'm sitting here, I'm putting this openly on YouTube where millions of people can watch it. And I'm doing this because I want to encourage you and myself. Whatever I tell you, I tell myself. And I learn with every video, I learn with every client, I learn with every post I make. I'm deepening my knowledge and my wisdom. Because you, like Bob Proctor, I don't know if you know him, he's my mentor. He studied one book for over 60 years because he understood that while you are growing, you have access to a deeper truth of the wisdom or the knowledge you've studied. If 2017, I started to become a psychosomatic practitioner, and it was an overwhelming training. Most of the stuff I had never heard about. It was very sort of metaphysical also in a way. And I studied it and I understood, but not the depth of all of it. And then obviously regularly I revisited the book, and every time I understood more, because I had grown. I had grown with my knowledge. I had grown with embodying it. You know, it's not only like having it up here. You need to bring it down into the subconscious. You need to embody it on a cellular level, and that takes time. It's called integration, and it's very, very important. And we don't ever know how long that takes. That's why sometimes we do a training, sometimes we do a course, and then we think, I have not learned anything. I don't know anything yet. But it takes time to sink deeper. Oh, now Lily's sleeping and dreaming. I don't know. So if you hear weird sounds, it's my dog dreaming. So sweet. I just want to tell you, go for it. If you have a dream, you don't want to regret on your deathbed looking back and thinking, oh my, I wish I would have done that. You know, I think that's what we're here for. We're really here for going out for what we believe and what we love and what makes us happy. And there's this saying, if you found what you love to do, you never work any more day in your life. And it's true. If you love what you do, you're not working, you know. You're sharing, you're being of service, you're contributing, you're inspiring, but you're not working because it comes easy. And in the past, I was like, wow, if this is so easy, it feels weird to take money for it because we are so conditioned to believe work has to be hard. But I tell you, there is a big, big shift happening. Work doesn't have to be hard anymore. Yeah, do something you love to do. And I believe for every person on this globe, there is something they would love to do. And if we would all step into what we love to do, there would be such a different planet. There would be people who would love. The other day I met a girl, I think she's in the beginning of her 20s. I asked her, what's your dream? And she said, I want to become a farmer. And it made me so happy because she spoke about her grandfather, and she said he taught her and he showed her, and she wants to be like her grandfather. And I was like, wow, this is so inspiring, you know, that she wants to become a farmer, you know. And there's people who want to become kindergarten teachers, like a client of mine, you know, she loves to work with children. And there are others who want to become teacher, and there are others who want to, I don't know, work with plants. There is people for every occupation. And if we start to following that and making ourselves, like going out to be self-employed, we can make up also our own prices and our own economy. And that's something Bob always used to say, and I think he has it from Wallace D. Wattles. You can make your own economy in every era, you know. There were people who lost a lot of money, and at the opposite, there were people who made a lot of money. And it's the same right now. There are a lot of people who lose a lot of money and others make a lot of money. There are so many millionaires right now on this planet. It's incredible. And I just posted an incredible snippet of, Bloom TV? It was I think the CEO of the City Private Bank, and she was speaking about that it's the biggest global wealth transfer happening, and we're in the midst of it. I think $30 trillion are changing their owners right now. And at the moment, a third of the wealth, global wealth, is owned by women. And she made prognosis that in 10 years, it will be over 50%. So I want to encourage you to shape your own fortune and to start investigating into what you want to do. Yeah, what is your skills? What do you love to do? You know, you can make money with anything. It really is like that. If you love what you do and you put all the energy into it and you believe, that's the key ingredient. you believe you can do it, and you're willing to do whatever it takes, working for it, or putting your energy into that every day, step by step by step, you can create whatever it is you dream about right now. And I'm so convinced about it. Basically, it's backed by science. It's whatever you can. There's this beautiful snippet also, like a reel I shared from he's a neurologist, and he shared basically the science behind manifestation. And he shared, it's true, if whatever you put your mind to, write it down, make a goal card like Bob had, write it down, read it quietly, silent, read it out loud, and then be grateful as it is already yours. And then follow the steps. In the moment you really send something out into the ether for creation, you will get answers, you will have impulses, hunches, you'll feel like, oh, I should go here and there. You will meet a person who's maybe doing something similar, and you think like, how is this possible? What I do is so rare. But I swear you will meet the person who can help you on your journey to make the next step. This is how it works. I experienced it so many times. It's magical. At the same time, it's not, because again, science can back it up. And that's the beauty of it. You shape your own reality. If you don't like what you see around yourself right now, if you don't like where you live, you don't like what you earn, you don't like what you do, you don't like how you look, you don't like your partner, change it. Get your shit together and change it. Make a decision. It's not just like, oh, everything, poor me, everything is so difficult. Make a decision to change it. If we have mind fog, it's absence of decision making. We are not clear on what we want. We are in between two situations, and we are scared to move forward. We are scared to take the first step because we are scared maybe that we need to leave something behind. And that can be, if you are starting to go out into the world and changing, it could be that there's some people dropping away. Yeah, like I tell you something, sometimes this can be a lonely journey. When you start to get to know thyself, sometimes it might be a lonely journey. But it's part of the deal. The bumps are part of the road. Yeah. And they make it worth it, because then you look back and you're like, wow, I've achieved something incredible, and I made this. And when thinking back, when I was sitting in the office in Ingolstadt, I could have never imagined being here, living in the tropics, doing what I love, talking to you, putting things like that out on the internet, teaching people, being a mentor. Tell me 2004, 10 years ago, if you would have told me, I would have said to you, no, that's not me, that's not true, I'm never gonna do this. This wasn't also clear to me that I would end up here. I just had that feeling there's something there, and I didn't know, but I felt like I need to move. And I sat in the office every day. I went there in the morning at 7:30, and then I went home by 5:30. Maybe went to the grocery, bought some food, and then I went home, cleaned up, and then I sat on the couch, watched TV until 10:30, and then I went to bed. There was no excitement. There was no like now in the mornings, when I'm at the coffee shop, I study, I prepare my posts. Like I want to go deeper into that knowledge that I can help people even more, and inspire people that there is a different life, but you need to take the first step. I didn't know that there is a different life. And I'm so sure that there are so many things I'm not even aware about, which are about to come into my life. And I will be like, wow, I didn't know that this is possible. And that's the magic, when we let go of controlling how the whole journey is supposed to look and be like, okay, today is pretty good. Today I can do what it takes, and I do something every day to make myself proud. And I swear. No, I tell you, if you do something every day that makes you proud of yourself, that's also a big game changer, because you feel like you have accomplished something. And I had these phases where I was in deep despair and where I was like sort of lying in bed every day, and I was like, oh, how is this supposed to go? La 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 la, all these doubts, worries, and indecisiveness, brain fog, anxiety, fear. But I made a decision that this is now over, and this is now me completely moving forward, and not just, stop and go. Because in the past, what also happened, I was starting like a full speed train with 200 or 300 kilometer, and then I was exhausted and I fell off the wagon again. Then I took time, doubt, worries appeared, and then slowly I recovered, so I tried again. So I encourage you also to create a business which is balanced between the feminine and the masculine principle. Do what you can every day, but don't exhaust yourself. In the moments you feel like, I'm not able to make it. Oh my God. Stop. Take yourself out of there. Leave, drop your pen, go out, go for a walk, breathe, play with your dog, play with your child, go for a coffee. Take yourself out of this energy, of this vibration, because it will not help you. It will limit the energy which wants to flow through you. It will limit the possibilities you can see, and the energy which will flow into what you create will not create what you want to have. Okay, so imagine this. You want an apple cake? You put apples in. You want a really good apple cake? You will put the Royal Gala inside. So that's the moment where you feel like I'm in alignment. I made a post today and I felt so inspired. I was like, oh, this is so good. I was in a good energy. If I would have been in a bad energy, but I would have forced myself to do it, to continue, I would have made that post, but with rotten apples. Because my energy was rotten. So it's all about the energy behind what you do, and it's all about the intention you put inside what you do. It's not about how much you do, it's about what you do in alignment with what wants to come through. You can sit down in the morning and be like, so what is wanting to come through today? What's important for today? Of course, you can have a list, you can have a plan, you can schedule, but sometimes you're not able to plan everything ahead, and that is fine. Drop control and be like, okay, sometimes I'm planning something and then somebody's coming for a prayer, then something happens with Lily, maybe I need to go to the doctor, and everything I've planned is out the window. So what can I do? I can either get totally worked up about it and make myself feel really bad and really wrong that again I didn't do it correctly, and again my time, my plan, or I'll be like, all right, what if this is the best thing that could have happened today? Yeah, look for the good in everything. I'm sure there is something good in every situation. And that's what I started to change in how I work, in how I approach life. It's not the same every day. Sometimes I'm pissed, but this is the human experience. This is how it works. You know, we always learn, we always expand, we always grow, and you're not competing with anyone. That's an important thing to say, because sometimes we get stressed and worked up about because we think we compete with somebody outside of us, which we are not, because we are creating our own from, where's my book? I don't have it here. I will go into that in another video. That will take too much time. But you're not competing with anyone. If with anyone, then it's the version of yourself yesterday. Just try to be every day a little bit better. A little bit. You don't have to be perfect. And just be yourself, be authentic, and know that there is somebody, and it really is like that, waiting for you to go out there with what you share the exact way you are sharing it. There's somebody out there who needs what I say now, maybe said in your words, not maybe, said in your words, because you can explain it for them in such a way they could have not ever understood it in any other form. And that's what I really want to leave with you for today. Go out and do it. Follow your dream, because otherwise you will regret it. And you're here to realize your full potential. You're here to step up. You're here to create this life you're yearning for. And what you feel inside your heart is not just there for no reason. It's a desire planted by a higher force inside of you to be realized during this lifetime. And if you need support on your journey, if you need a guide and mentor, you know where to find me. Send me a message. I'm super, super curious. Also, if you want to share anything else, write a comment if you have a question. And other than that, I'm super grateful that you watched until the end. And thank you so much. It means the world to me. And I see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.